So today I got a pretty busy day doing chores. I got a lot of things to do. And the other day I made a video where I was talking about what I was going to do with this channel. How I was just going to kind of focus on just doing what my daily activities are instead of going out and doing special projects. Of course, every time I do that, it's inevitable. Somebody's going to tell me what I should do with this channel. And I just can't express it anymore. There's just not anything else to do. It's run its life, I think, and that happens. And instead of just keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, we started a new channel. I mean, I think it's a great idea. And that way I can keep this channel going, so the folks that are still with me can watch it. Instead of going out and doing special projects, I'm just gonna do what I do. Well, one thing that I have to do is change the oil in the truck today. I've always wondered, is that a good idea to do for an off-grid channel, is change the oil in the truck? I've seen other off-gridders do it. I've seen homesteaders do it. It's a cheap way to do your oil change. Oil changes are getting expensive. The last two vehicles I've had have gotten pretty high in price. I remember the last one I had was $50, and I thought, man, that was terrible. And that was 2010 maybe. Then I got this, and it was $88. And I don't know why it's so high. So I've mostly had people do the oil changes in shops, you know, those little quick lubes. Well, I've decided last year that I was going to do it myself. I mean, I've changed oil all my life. I just hadn't done it in this truck or the last car I had, because it takes that synthetic oil. Well, I mean, I don't know why I was making a big deal about it. Who cares if it takes synthetic oil? If you don't know what kind you need, just go to the auto parts store. They'll hook you up. Read your cap. It'll tell you what to use. Look at your old receipts. If you used one of those shops, the receipts will tell you what kind of oil they use. And then you got to get an oil filter. But this is not a hard task. So obviously this is the dashboard. You can see that my oil level percentage is down to 1%. It's probably the lowest I've ever had it, but this time I decided that's what I was going to do, because Carolyn and I just don't drive around that much. It tells you that you need to change your oil soon, I think around 8%. Well, heck, that was a month and a half ago when it did that. So it's just a waste of oil not to change it at 8% when it tells you to. The thing is it's been almost a year since I've changed, well, probably over a year. I think it was just 13 months ago when I changed it last. And I know you're supposed to change it every 6 months or whatever, but I just wait until this thing gets down to this percentage level and change it. One of the Jiffy Lube guys said, oh, that's when I do it too. So I've always did it that way. I don't see the point in the year thing. I don't think it makes a big difference. So again, maybe November, December time frame, I bought all the things I need. The oil is so expensive. It's just horribly expensive. Full synthetic. I think even without taking it to the shop, I still spent $50. So I got the oil that I need. I got an air filter, and I bought the oil filter. Now, if you're not used to this, now my channel is mostly guys. I don't know how many guys actually change their own oil. But if you're not used to doing this, just tell the auto parts guy what you got, and they'll hook you up with everything you need. So then we're gonna get underneath the truck and we're gonna drain the oil. Okay, so what I've done here is I've pulled into the side of the driveway here, and what I've tried to do is I tried to lift this side of the truck up a little bit so all the oil drains down. So this side is the highest. That side over there and the back side over there is supposed to be the lowest. That way all the oil drains to the oil plug where I'm going to open it up so the oil will drain out. So everything should be draining that way is what I'm saying. The thing is, when I got up underneath it, I wanted to make sure that I found a spot in the yard, which this place is really great, where there's a little cavern so I can easily slide up underneath the truck. That way you don't need ramps or anything or any special jacks. You can do it all on the ground. Put on an old coat or a cheaper coat that you have. Now I'm going to use oil cans. Now you got to understand Carolyn. She won't let me have an oil pan. I can almost bet you. Nah, I'm kidding. She probably would if I asked her. But she saves these coffee cans for everything. And I mean, that's her decor is coffee cans. And it's true. I mean, why go out and spend a bunch of money on things you don't need when you got all these coffee cans? So we'll collect the oil in the coffee cans. Okay, I'm not really going to be able to explain how to find your oil plug, but that's it right there. Right there. And this is your oil pan. here. So if you look at the front of the car, you come back a little bit, you're going to see the oil pan. It's just the lowest thing sticking down. Now you want to be careful that it's not the transmission. You got rear wheel drive like me, that's the transmission pan. But the thing is, there's no oil plug on it. Well, I take that back, there is one right there. I'll be darned. But regardless, you'll see the bell housing on the transmission. It looks like a bell. So just forward of that, you'll see the oil plug. And it's 15 millimeter on most cars nowadays. So I feel like Scotty Kilmer. He runs a YouTube channel. He's a big YouTuber that does car maintenance. Now you want to be careful because this oil is going to come shooting out. So you want to get out of the way of that. Before I started, I took the car for a 12-mile drive so it would warm up, all the oil come out real easy. And I didn't miss, see? Okay, next thing you want to do is remove the oil filters. It's on the other side, so the oil plug was over on this side and the oil filters on this side. And so I have an oil filter wrench. It will self-tighten. It's like a banding strap. What happens is it'll tighten around the filter. I have a pan underneath this. All right, so I have oil on my hand. We're going to take the oil on my hand, we're going to wipe it, spread that oil around this gasket around the oil filter. And then we'll put it back on the threads here. And then we're going to give it like a quarter turn, half a turn to tighten it. That should do it. You don't want to over tighten it because if you do, man, you'll never get it off. Fortunately, these Wix filters, they have a little bolt-like thing where you can put your socket onto it. Okay, so now I've put the oil plug back in. I didn't show you that part. It's just, you know, the opposite of taking it out. After all the oil drained out. Got the new filter on. Now we're going to put more oil into the engine. I'm going to take the oil cap off here like that. Now I don't have a funnel, so these new pour spouts usually are pretty easy to do without spilling a lot. Okay, so now we're going to start the engine and then we'll check the dipstick to make sure there's enough oil in it. Yeah, the oil comes right up to the third dot nearly. Well, I had finished up changing the oil, so I went to change the air filter in this little housing here, but my camera messed up. It was on the wrong setting. I like my camera, I really do. I love this little GoPro, but the settings are so easy to mess up. You would think that it wouldn't be that easy considering people wear them on their helmets and ride mountain bikes. So I replaced the air filter. I don't know. It probably really didn't absolutely need it, but it's been in there a long time. We just don't drive this thing very much, but it's not too bad. So the maintenance on the truck is done. Like I said, when you go to Autoport store, all you gotta do is just go up to them and say, I need an air filter for, and you name off your vehicle. You need oil filter and you need oil, and they'll get you everything you need. Now, you do want to read your owner's manual to tell you how much oil you need. Mine actually needs 5.5 quarts. Well, that one jug was only 5 quarts, so I had to put an extra half quart in it. So you want to know those things. Of course, you can Google that information. That way you're not in your driveway with everything tore apart and then you realize, oh no, I need something else. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the chickens out for a few minutes. That way they can have some playtime. As soon as you come down, they'll gather to the door. We'll check for eggs, make sure the water's not frozen. Just like any other animal, pet, they sure do like coming out. So I'll check for eggs real quick. This is hard to open with one hand and get eggs out. Yeah, we got a couple eggs. Now this egg here is a ceramic egg. We've put an X on it. I've talked about ceramic eggs before, but we got 3 eggs. And I believe that's the blue egg. We'll come down. I'll come down again tonight, probably get 2 to 3 more eggs tonight. And I don't like keeping them out there too long. You know, once they sit on them, I want to come out and get them so they don't freeze and break. I come down several times a day, check their water, check for eggs. So if you'll check out that video here, I'd appreciate it. It's to my other channel. Give it a try, see if you like it. So I hope I can inspire you to have chores you can do anytime when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.